Today's video is about connecting Voicemeeter Potato to OBS. So I'm not going to do a complete setup of OBS. I'm just going to set up the audio devices. I'm going to do a future video on setting OBS up more generally, but this will focus on connecting the inputs and outputs from Voicemeeter into OBS directly. So I've got OBS open and recording my screen, and you should be able to see what I'm seeing. I've got the preview disabled, so we've not got that strange reflective mirror situation. I've got this scene set up VM to OBS, so Voicemeeter to OBS. Currently I've just got the display capture showing, and I've got the mic I'm recording on down here. I haven't got any audio set up in here, so you can see all of these are disabled. Okay, now we have a choice. We can do as I've done down here, where we add the individual devices just for this scene, or we can do them in here. This is sort of the typical way to do it. Most people seem to do it this way, but I prefer to do it this way, and the main reason for that is each of my scenes can have different audio sources on them, and I don't have to mute them. For example, on my starting screen, I don't want my mic to be audible, but I do want my music to be audible. So in that case, I just simply don't have my mic in that scene, and it won't be audible. So then I'll show you both ways. Let's do it this way first. Now, if you listen to my previous video, I explained how you convert outputs into inputs and inputs into outputs. These three are outputs, computer outputs, and two of them are being turned into inputs. The system output comes in here, goes over here and becomes an input, and the music is an output that comes in here and gets sent over there. If you want to find out how to set that up, look at my previous videos in the series. Actually, I'm going to rename these. Okay, I've just renamed these. So the music is being sent to B3. It needs to be set to B3. I also want to be able to hear it, so it comes to some of my outputs. Discord isn't being sent, it's only being sent to me. Just to simplify this, I'm just going to say, let's just say A1 is my headset. Let's disable all those. B system in goes to B1, which is there. That becomes an input that OBS can pick up. The music is being sent to B3. That's an input which OBS can pick up. The Discord isn't being sent anywhere. Now, the reason for that is my microphone is being sent over there to B2. Now, you wouldn't want these muted, but I'm going to mute them so when I add them into OBS, they don't get caught up on the recording. And if you remember a section from my previous video, the Discord isn't being sent over there because there isn't a spare channel. I'm using one of the channels for my microphone, and the other two are the system and the music. So I'm going to pick that up a different way. Okay, right, let's move back over into OBS and try and pick up these devices now. So, desktop audio. Now if I click on that, that's showing the Voicemeeter. There, look, they're all split up, which is a bit annoying, but they are all there. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. The auxiliary input, that's the second one, and the one with the 3 in it is the third one, and the one that seems non-descriptive, it just says Voicemeeter input, that's the first one. However, that is not this. That is not the outputs I want. Those are the system outputs. Those are here. I don't actually want those because those haven't come through Voicemeeter. Those are what comes in to Voicemeeter. What I need to do is set up microphones. So my system is gone to Voicemeeter output 1, which is the one that has no description, Voicemeeter output. The second one is my microphone, Voicemeeter auxiliary out, and the third one is my music. Right there it is. Okay, so that's those three Those 3 correspond to those 3. So I've got 3 of my 4 audio signals in now. But Discord, how do I get my Discord in? Okay. Now, could I combine it with one of these? Well, I could combine it with my system, but quite often I want my system audio to be reduced for the stream so they can hear the talking, but I wouldn't want the people talking on my Discord to not be able to be heard. So I want them at a similar volume to myself. So we can't really do that. I could reduce the system volume here and keep the Discord volume up higher and send them to system, and that might do some of what I want. Could I send it to the music one? Yes, I could, but then mixing that with my music doesn't seem like a very sensible idea. I might want to be able to pull out the music. I want to be able to record that separately or take that out later. But I wouldn't want to necessarily take out the people talking on the Discord. So that one's out. What about my stereo mic? Could I send it to my mic? I want it at the same sort of level. The answer is no, I can't do that. And the reason for that is my Discord is picking up my stereo mic from here. So if I feed this back into the stereo mic, the other people on the Discord will be able to hear themselves. Now, the other way I could do it would be to pick up the mic directly in Discord and then mix that mic with the Discord here. That's a way of doing it, but again, it doesn't seem particularly great. So I'm going to show you a different way. Back into these outputs, Voicemeeter Auxiliary, that corresponds to that. However, it's pre-fade. So I've connected it to the input there, not the output. The other 3 are connected to these outputs. So anything that comes into these things gets mixed. I can apply any of these effects and blend the levels with the faders, apply EQ, send it all out to Voicemeeter, and all of that will be recorded by OBS because it will be recorded after Voicemeeter. This one will be recorded before Voicemeeter. Now, arguably, you could do it with the music instead. You could reserve this one for Discord and send the music directly in. It actually doesn't matter, but I prefer to do it this way so I can set my music level how I want it, and then Discord volumes I will control from within Discord, because generally people on Discord, they all have different volumes, they've all got different microphones, they all sound differently, so getting the blend of that right is best done in Discord. Okay, so I've applied those. That should apply to all scenes. So when I click this, they should all appear there. There they all are. Now, this gets a little bit confusing. We've got all these different ones, mic aux, mic aux 2, mic aux 3. Well, which one's which? And desktop audio. Well, the desktop audio is actually the Discord. And these ones aren't mics or auxiliaries at all. They're the system sound. So what can we do? Well, easy enough. Rename. Right click, rename. The desktop audio one, so that's Discord. Mic auxiliary 1. That's the system. Mic auxiliary 2 is my microphone. And mic auxiliary 3 is my music. Okay, it is quite important to rename them because that can get really confusing. And in here, this can be quite confusing. Just trying to get your head around which one is which. You really have to sometimes think hard. It says microphone, but you're not picking up a microphone. You're picking up a output device, and they've all got these nonsensical names. Extra tip here, I like this vertical layout. You can uncheck that, and then you have this bit, but I don't like this. I find this a bit of a nuisance and a bit of a pain. So just click that vertical layout. You can't make that any smaller, you see, where on the vertical one you can reduce that more, so it just gives you a bit more space. But I think I'd rather sacrifice the space and have it in this way. Right, so that's basically it. A few other things that you might want to sort out: advanced audio properties. Since you've separated all the channels, you can record them all on separate channels. So as you can see, I've got the mic I'm recording on now is on channel 2 and on channel 6. Now I use channel 6 as a mix of everything, and which sends it to the stream. The stream can only take one channel, so I use channel 6. So I'll record that on 2 and record that on 6. These other ones, for example, I'll just go through here. Discord, let's call Discord channel 1. So we'll take everything else off channel 1. I want the stream to pick it up as well, so it needs to be on channel 6. The microphone, well, let's just duplicate the microphone setting I've got there. So that's 2 and 6. The music, that can be on channel 3 and 6, so the stream gets it. And the system, that can be on channel 4 and of course channel 6. So as you can see, everything gets recorded on channel 6, and then all of the others have separate channels. And in your audio over here, in your output settings, I'll just show you. As you can see, I can't change it now because it's grayed out because I'm currently recording. The stream is picking up channel 6, and you can only, these because these are circular, you can only pick one. However, on the recording, you can pick as many as you like. See that? And in this case, look, I picked everything except channel 6 because that's the one where they're all mixed together. I don't need that. And channel 5 isn't being used, so that's not being collected either. But the other 4 channels are, and they'll appear as separate audio channels, which when I edit this in DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro, you'll see the 4 channels, and you can delete them out or edit them separately. Okay, let's close that off then. A bit more here. Just, you can see my mic, I've put this 25 decibel boost on it. This microphone is very quiet, even with the gain on the audio interface up quite high. You could, if you didn't want to boost it there, you could actually boost it here. And the audio filters are here. I'm not going to get into the filters here because that's a separate video. But just, you apply them. When I first used OBS, the filters just seemed to be invisible to me. I guess you look for advanced audio properties thinking that's where all the advanced audio stuff will be, but actually in filters you've got all these different. Okay, right, so that's the way that most people do it, is set it up over here. I'm just going to check all these to disabled again. Okay, let's get out of there. All right, see, they've all gone now. So what if you want to do it the way I prefer to do it? Well, it's easy. You just add another device. So I'll only do one of each. Audio input capture. Let's leave it at that. Now, what do I want? I want Voicemeeter output. Where is it? I can't see it for looking. There it is. Voicemeeter output. There we are. And that's your system. I can rename that. I'm just going to put demo after it so it doesn't confuse. So, and then it appears over there. I need to add an output because I need to get the Discord. And it's on Voicemeeter auxiliary input, which is the second one. There you go. So that's an output. So, and if I do the other two, the music one will appear as a microphone as well, and the microphone will as well. In fact, I'll do them just to show you. There we are. So now we've got our things back again. But when I flick to a different scene, they won't actually be present. So these won't apply. They won't be on other scenes unless you add them. And the rest of it's the same. So I'm pretty straight. It's pretty straightforward. It's just it's just that weird naming thing, and remembering that some of your output devices will appear as inputs. If you manage to get your head around the rest of how Voicemeeter works, that bit should be relatively straightforward. You might just want to write it down as you're doing it. I know when I've run through it that time, it hasn't seemed that complicated, but I've been working it out for a while now, so I'm familiar with the sort of confusing elements of it. Well, I think that's about it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. Please leave a comment. I'll be doing a few more videos in this series, and then I'll also be moving on to doing a series about OBS and a series about my audio interface, the Studio 1810C. So if that's of any interest, make sure you subscribe, and of course check out my Twitch and Mixer channels, or follow me on Twitter. See you next time.